Welcome back. Since the deadly school shooting in Parkland, Florida, in Broward County, we've heard impassioned pleas from students and teachers for some form of action on gun laws. And just this afternoon, the president did announce this.
Just a few moments ago, I signed a memorandum directing the Attorney General to propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns. I expect that these critical regulations will be finalized, Jeff, very soon.
Bump stocks, of course, was the issue after the Las Vegas mass shooting, not this most recent mass shooting. Marjorie Stoneham Douglas students want a ban on assault rifles, like what was used to shoot up their school. As we speak, those students are on their way to Tallahassee to demand action collectively from their state lawmakers in person. But that debate has started already, and the students might not like what they hear when they arrive. The Florida State House today voted against considering a ban on assault rifles in the state of Florida. That action effectively scuttles the measure for this legislative session. Let me go to my colleague, NBC News' Tammy Leitner, who has been traveling on the bus with the students. They are currently in the midst of a dinner pit stop, if you will, on their way to Tallahassee. Tammy, so you've been talking with these students. You've been spending a lot of time with them. They are, I assume, they're starting to become more aware of the politics of Tallahassee. How have they been reacting to this?
Yeah, that's right, Chuck. We're essentially 4 hours into this 400-mile journey. As you can tell, they've stopped for dinner. And, you know, in a lot of ways, Chuck, this feels like a normal field trip. We have parent chaperones on it. We have kids sharing their snacks, joking around. But it also has a somber tone, and it has a bigger feel. And that's because they're taking on a national issue. And so how do they take on a national issue like gun control? 16-year-old Ernest Calderon, you have been very outspoken. And how do you take on such a large issue and bring about change?
To really bring about change, what we really want to talk about are small steps. You know, the first small step we're taking is talking to Governor Rick Scott today, hopefully, and tomorrow at the Florida Capitol. Another small step we could do is maybe make background checks a little bit stricter. And I feel like finally, since the kids are speaking out after a tragedy like this, there's going to be some change.
And you seem very confident.
I do.
Why is
because
that?
Frankly, I've lived in this country for a fairly long time for me, and since I've been born, there have always been mass shootings in this country. And I feel like being one of the first people in the generation that has to grow up with this sort of just disgusting tragedies, I'm sick of it, frankly. I'm sick of it. And I really think that because I've had to deal with it my entire life, that this time it's got to stop.
Just in the last few hours, possibly some discouraging news. Florida state legislators have shot down a ban that could stop assault weapons. Is this temper your drive, your enthusiasm for pushing forward?
Not at all. Because when you lose somebody you care about in something like this, they're motivation enough. Every single day I'm reminded of the people I lost, and they motivate me to no end. So I will not falter, and I will not slow down, because the legislature, before even speaking to us, has shut down something that we aren't even completely for. We're not for banning any type of gun. What we are is for stronger background checks.
So there you go, Chuck. You heard it. They're not letting this stand in their way. They're not looking at this as a roadblock or a hurdle. They're going to continue to push forward. And where one thing stops them, they're going to keep going forward and moving around it. Chuck?
Tammy, I'm also impressed with the pragmatism and sort of the straightforward about everything is a step. To know that already at 16, that's how the process works. Change takes a while. Having that patience shows a lot of maturity, that's for sure. Tammy Leitner, thank you very much.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.